Well, it was a successful day today. Got an awful lot done, and got our delivery from Ikea. Got the electricians in here. So, without further ado, I'll give you a quick run through of everything that we accomplished today. This, of course, would be one of the biggest things of beauty: a fuse box with circuit breakers in it, and lots of them. Instead of just these three over here on the side are the original three. You can tell from the older wires there. Those are the original three circuits in the apartment, and then these are all the new circuits. All but two of those go to the kitchen. So we're actually going to have that many circuits just going into the kitchen alone, and I'm extremely excited about that. We decided, I talked to the electricians, and they said that we only have a 30 amp service into the apartment, and that's the same for all the apartments in the building. And the estimate for creating a sub box down in the basement to bring a 40 amp service up here was going to be another $1,800. So that one's going to have to wait. But they said that it would just have to go down here on the floor, open up the wall on the floor here in the hallway, and they could change that service out at a later date without changing anything we did up here in the box. So if $1,800 falls out of the sky, we might get that done. But the rest of this, I've done a fair amount of cleaning up here, but you can see we've got our boxes here. We've run our two lines that go into the other room. They ran a new box here and a new box there over on the side. And then this wire tailing off here is for the dishwasher. We've got our two boxes up over what's going to be the counter. Got to close up. That's the old box for the switch or the plug that was in the kitchen over the counter before. So I'm going to cover that one up tomorrow. I'm going to chisel out a little spot, put a cap over that, and then plaster over the cap. And you can see they chopped. Essentially, how they put this together is they chopped holes through and kind of laced the wires over the top. So they chopped a hole over every wall stud, and then laced the wires over the top of the wall studs, and then back behind the cavities all the way across, and then branched off to do, like, here's the box up on the top. That's going to go for the range hood and the microwave when that gets hooked up. So they did that all the way around, and it worked out really well that I actually opened up the ceiling for the water pipe, because they ended up taking that route to get everything back. And so you can see they ran across the bottoms of the beams there, and then found an open cavity there, and then used that to come all the way back here to go over this top of the wall and then down into the new box. So they ended up having to cut up a lot less of the wall. They didn't have to do any of the wall here next to the fridge. So I'm glad I didn't open that up, because they didn't end up needing to get in there at all. They went right over the top. And they did chisel me a new hole here for when they ran the wire for the refrigerator, but that's not going to be too big of a deal. And then over here you can see I already started. I had a little bit of supplies left over from another job, so I already started patching back in some of the holes. This stuff is all going to be behind cabinets, so I'm not really crazy worried about getting it perfect, but I started filling in some of the holes here and some of the grooves that I had to chisel out. And then last but not least, and these are two plugs that'll be on the counter on the opposite side here, but last but not least is I got the water tap for the ice maker hooked up, and you can see I put some tie downs in there, got from the hardware store, and tied that down, hooked that up, got the pressure valve in there, tested the water. Didn't leak anywhere as far as I could tell, not up in the wall, not down here at the connection. And I have to wait until I get everything finished before I hook up the fridge, because I'm going to have to move it a couple times. So you can see I laced that all the way through here, and then ran it out the bottom here, and then kind of tied it all off and run it back, and it's dead-ended behind the fridge. So that's the progress for today. And then we've got the Ikea order, and then the logic I did here was I'm going to need some space to work, so I took just the base unit cabinets and left them stacked up out here, because I'm going to have to work with those first. There's just not any better place to put the sink. That's a big old sink, but it's beautiful. And there's some more of the base unit cabinets and then some of the longer pieces. There's our two big pieces of butcher block. Those are going to be beautiful countertops. And then I took the rest of the materials, the doors and the pieces that are going to go on last, and put them into our bedroom. And then I think, just to make some symbolic progress, I might put together one or two of these drawers and then just stack them up in the girls' room until it's time to install them, just so I can make a little bit of progress on putting things together tonight. But that is the state of things tonight, and the place is looking good. We're still on schedule, so if I get the repair work here done tomorrow, if I get all the walls patched and ready to go, since the electricians finished a day early, we were expecting them to work tomorrow too, but they finished by 3:30 today. So, I actually had to call in and leave a message to see if I could get the supplies for patching the walls delivered earlier. So we'll see whether that comes through in the morning. But that's the next step, just to patch everything up, and then once it's all patched up, I can start breaking out the cabinets and installing things. So off we go. I'll see you all tomorrow.